welcome to this episode of Hypnotist Bernie's Exposition. I'm Hypnotist Bernie here. Joining us here tonight is Jennifer.
Hi, how are you? My name is Jennifer Joan Fay. I live in Wilmington, Mass. I'm 26 years old. Anything you'd like to add?
All right, just tell us a little bit more.
I do modeling, acting. I'm a cosmetologist. I'm a writer, poet.
Okay. So, how long have you been doing all this?
For years. I've been writing poetry for like 10 years. I've been doing modeling and acting for at least 8 years.
Okay. So what got you into modeling and acting?
It's just something I've always liked to do. Just something that has always intrigued me. I've always been interested with that. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me, how was it like when you got your first audition?
Very nerve-wracking, stressful.
Okay. And after all these years, how has that changed for you?
It hasn't. I'm still stressed. Still just as stressed as I was the first day.
Which is good, you know. They say the time when you're not stressed at all is the time that you should worry about, right?
Right. Yeah. They do. They say that. They say it actually helps to perform better. You know,
Yeah.
It's amazing the things that you can do that you don't realize when you force yourself to do it. You know what I mean? So when you force yourself, you really can make yourself do it better than you thought that you could. And then you realize there's nothing to worry about.
It's true. It's true. So tell me about your poetry.
I've been writing poetry for at least 10 years, but I've actually been writing a journal my whole life. I've written tons of poetry. I have books full of poetry. I write all different kinds about different things.
Is any of them published, or are they?
I've had a few poetry poems published and like online, and a couple like magazines. I've had a couple letters published in the TV Guide. And things like that. I love writing. I'm going to school for journalism, so I love everything to do with it.
So you're doing journalism in school.
Right.
How did you decide to do that?
Because I love writing, and I love anything to do with broadcast media, and it would be nice to write for like a newspaper or magazine, or work for the media or something along those lines. It's just everything I love, so I thought journalism would be a good choice.
Right.
Right. Overall.
So where do you see your career going?
Well, eventually I would like to work for a television company or a newspaper or a magazine and be a writer for them or something along those lines. And it would be nice if my brother and I could start like some kind of production company.
All right.
And
so where is this brother of yours?
He's actually sitting right over there.
Why don't you come in the camera and say hi?
Oh, sure. Why not? All right. Where's a good place to stand over here?
He's coming here.
Okay.
Say hi.
Hi. Where are we here? Here we are. All right. Sorry if I'm a little off kilter there. Okay. Thank you.
There's 5 seconds of fame.
Yeah, there we go.
There's an Oscar performance.
We'll be at the award show next year.
Oh,
This should be interesting. Yeah, I'm actually looking for us to start a reality show soon,
really?
/ like documentary, something along those lines, and we're gonna try to look into that and start something with.
So what is the idea you're working on right now?
Right now we're looking into a reality show / documentary, and basically, well, our lives are very entertaining and interesting, so it's never a dull moment. We have a lot to say, and it would be a documentary about just things that we strongly believe in.
Do you have a working title?
Not currently. So far, it's just like John Paul Fay and Jennifer Fay production type of thing, reality show. Okay.
Well, you hear from here first on Hypnotist Bernie's Exposition right here on CCTV.
Right.
We're always one step ahead.
Right. Exactly.
Of the industry.
One Thing Productions, maybe One Thing.
Oh yeah, One Thing Productions.
All right, there we go. So tell me more about this idea you have on a reality TV show.
Basically, it would be like our everyday lives and our adventures and just everything we do and go through in our family would be incorporated in that. and also just things that we strongly believe in with just the world overall, and things that have gotten crazy, you know, with everything lately.
Oh, yeah.
With the world in general, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And just to be entertaining also,
All right,
and funny.
okay.
We have a lot of entertaining things that happen.
Do you guys have a website going on?
Not currently. Right now, I'm actually promoting myself a lot on our MySpace pages, and I'm
Okay.
also planning on doing it on YouTube also.
Okay.
But I've been promoting a lot, so.
All right. So you're gonna send me the link to your MySpace page?
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
So we're gonna repost this on YouTube, and the link will be there.
Yep.
So everybody could check her out.
Right. That sounds great.
So tell me, what would you like to work on today on this show?
I guess that I would like to work on not being as stressed. My anxiety levels are very high all the time. It would be nice to, know how to relax and not feel so stressed out all the time, and just work with that,
What does that word mean to you?
What does the word relax mean?
Or stress?
Stress, let's see. It just basically means anxiety, high-strung,
Okay, so what does the word anxiety mean to you?
The same.
So would you use those words interchangeably?
Pretty much, yes.
Okay. So could you tell me when was the last time you feel that way?
Right before I came here.
Okay. So that's what I saw at Starbucks over there. So maybe we should pick an episode that is more objective. Like, so when was the last time you experienced that and you feel that you need to overcome?
I get stressed out a lot. Just with everyday life situations, dealing with certain people you prefer not to have to deal with. Things along those lines, We won't mention any names.
Right. That's a good thing. Have the finger on the beep button. But we don't really have a beep button.
Beep, 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 beep.
All right. So like name like a specific time where you experienced that. Recently.
Let's see. Oh goodness. I guess that sometimes like my parents stress me out, and my ex-boyfriend stresses me out.
Okay.
So
Let's talk about him.
They constantly stress me out. So it's like an everyday battle.
Is there like a very specific time that you can tell us about it?
I guess a time before like going to court,
Okay.
for my child. I guess that would be something that definitely was a major stress in my life, and that was just a couple months ago. So that was pretty stressful.
All right. So when you feel stressed, what kind of emotions go through your mind?
All kinds of sick butterflies in my stomach. I would say just very high anxiety, like I wouldn't be able to think straight. I feel distraught and just aggravated, like I would be very tense and easily annoyed at that point in time. It's aggravating.
What kind of physical sensation go through your body?
Like sick to my stomach, nauseous, and just basically you do feel like you honestly just feel very nauseous, and sometimes chest pains.
Okay.
So that's not good.
What kind of thoughts go through your mind?
Thoughts would be, I guess, just that I wouldn't be able to. I'm anxious for that situation to be over, and I want the best out of that situation, and I anticipate everything about it, and I always think the worst, and usually it's not as bad as I think it's going to be, but I usually can't wait till it ends, you know what I mean, if I'm really stressed. But usually once I get into something, and then I'm okay, it's just the building up, the anticipation is what kills me.
When you say it's usually not as bad as you think it's going to be, Does that thought calm you down?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
So that's good.
What do you do when you feel that way, when those thoughts go through?
When I start feeling calm.
I mean, like when you were stressed.
Like.
Is there like a physical reaction, like things that you do?
Things that I would do when I'm stressed is I would just basically, I try to relax, like try to breathe, try to relax myself, and try to talk to somebody who will de-stress me a little, you know, downplay the situation, you know, things like that, just, you know. So somebody who won't stress me out would be the best person to talk to when I am in that high anxious state.
Thanks, Bernie. We'll see you next time.
What would you do to what do you think you can do to alleviate that feeling? Like physically do.
Physically, exercising relieves the stress. Exercising, breathing. Those are the main things I could.
Like do jumping jacks.
Yeah, exactly. Stress really does. I mean, that really does. It really does. It is relieved by that, by exercise. Okay. Surprisingly.
You have an iPod or something?
I have an MP3 player.
Okay.
I just got recently. So, yeah.
A lot of people like to play that.
Yeah, it motivates you when you work out and exercise. It helps to, like, basically put you in your own little world.
Right. Or on their way to some events.
Oh, yeah.
That keep their mind off.
Yeah, music definitely helps. I love music. It's a good way of, you know, going into your own little world and motivating you, and, you know, it's definitely a good thing.
So if everything works out perfectly today, in the next time you're doing something that you normally would feel stressed, what kind of physical sensations would you like to feel?
I would like to feel ecstatic, happy, relieved, non-stressful, you know.
Okay.
Relaxed. Relax is not a word in my vocabulary. I don't understand what that word means. Relax and calm are two words that just
we will show you how that is in a moment. What about thoughts? What kind of thoughts? If everything works out well today, what kind of thoughts would go through your mind in the next situation?
It would make me feel, I guess, more excited and relaxed and at ease. All of those things. Knowing what to expect makes me feel at ease.
Okay. Do you not know what to expect?
In some situations. Some situations. Which I think, that's the anticipation of it. Because if you don't know what to expect, that's what makes you more stressed and just very anxious. Sick to your stomach.
So would you say if you can visualize what is about to happen, it's going to make the process a lot smoother?
Right. Definitely. That's
Do you usually visualize what is about to happen in that kind of situation?
I think if anything, I visualize the worst. So that's probably what stresses me out. If I visualized it as being the best and being, you know, at ease and laid back and non-stress, it probably wouldn't bother me as much.
Or just like a more realistic. It doesn't have to be like perfect, right? Because but it also doesn't have to be like bad.
Right.
You know, maybe we can work on the more realistic visualization.
Right.
Like visualizing the studio.
Right.
Visualizing, you know, people and the coffee machine and little things, right?
Right. Exactly. That's a good idea, actually.
Right. So we can. This is actually pretty cool. So. I'm going to say this as my assessment, and you can correct me if you don't think what I'm saying is right. So the stress basically comes from not knowing, not being able to see through the situation coming next, right?
Exactly.
And a good way of alleviating the stress is to visualize what is about to happen, and not just seeing things, but actually put yourself in that situation before you go into the situation. Right.
That's actually a good idea. Because then that would make me feel more at ease. it
Right.
would, you know, definitely feel
Right,
better.
and you know, you feel more rehearsed when
Right,
you go
right.
into that
It
situation.
would alleviate the pain.
Yeah, you know, I remember when we had to talk half an hour ago, you asked me a lot of questions about
Right.
What might happen.
Right.
Right.
See?
Right.
That's true.
Right. All right, okay, so what we're about to do is hypnosis.
Okay.
I want you to just sit back with your feet flat on the floor.
Okay.
Hypnosis, as you've seen on my show, it's nothing out of the unusual.
Right.
There's no evil spirits flying around. I don't have fangs. My eyes don't go red. I don't turn into a bat and fly around the studio. Even though if that happened, it would be pretty cool.
I know, it would definitely make for good entertainment, that's for sure.
It would definitely, yeah. It would save a lot of ethics on
Yeah, I know.
the Dracula movie
Yeah.
when you know the real Dracula shows up. You know.
Yeah.
So that being established.
Right.
So it's not sleep. At no point you will not be unconscious at any time.
Okay, that's good.
You will not feel passed out, or you will still be able to be aware of your surrounding.
Okay.
It's more like you choose not to care about it.
Right, which is what I want.
Okay. Also, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, it's like trying to fall asleep, right? Don't try to go into hypnosis.
Right.
It's like going to sleep. The more you try to go to sleep,
Mm-hmm.
the harder it is to go into sleep.
Oh, I'm an insomniac, I should know that.
Probably. Well, okay. There's 10 more minutes left, and you tell me this.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do that next week.
More to work on.
But I'm sure you're gonna sleep very well tonight.
Oh, I hope so.
All right. So I would not do anything to harm you in any way. So in return, I would like your cooperation. Is that okay?
Sure.
I would just need you to hold out your hands like this and push your hand very tight together. And I just want you to visualize both of your palms pressing together really, really tightly. I just want you to use your entire mind and use all your focus on the center of your palm, pushing into each other tighter and tighter and tighter, and feel your elbows locked, locked, locked. At the count of 3, you will not be able to pull your arms apart. 1, 2, 3. Look up here. Please. Just close your eyes. Relax. Just let yourself go. That's right. Just relax your arm. That's right. Just let it loose, let and relax. Loose, let and relax. Just relax your elbow. That's right. Loose, let and relax. Loose, let and relax. Just let yourself go. That's right. I count to 3, I would like you to open your eyes. When you do, I would like you to stare at the center of my palm. This time, when I count backwards from 3 to 1, when I reach number 1, you find yourself closing your eyes, relaxing, twice as deep, feeling twice as comfortable, twice as relaxed. 1, 2, 3, open your eyes and just stare at the center of my palm. That's right. Take a deep breath in. And out, sleep. 3, 2, 1, sleep. That's right. Deeper and deeper down. More and more relaxed. Just let yourself go. That's right. I'm going to count backwards from 10 to 1. With each number I count, I would like you to focus on a sinking sensation. A pleasant, relaxed, slumping, heavy sensation. It's just like you're sinking through the chair. Just feel your back sinking into the softness of your chair. For each number I count, you sink deeper and deeper down. And when I reach the number 1, you can just let yourself go completely and choose not to care about all the distractions that is around you. And let go completely and relax completely. 10, 9, deeper and deeper down. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just relax. Let go. Rest. Just relax. Let go. Rest. Just relax. Let go. Yes. Let go of all the tension that you may be holding on. Just let it go. And relax. Now, a moment ago, we talked about how sometimes you might feel unpleasant in a certain stressful situation. From now on, you find it very easy before you go into a situation where it counts a lot, and it matters a lot. Before you do that, you find it very easy to visualize precisely and correctly, without exaggeration, without any negative emotions. We'd like you to visualize all that is going to happen before you go into that situation. You can see every details of that room that you may walk into. You may notice every lighting, every curtain, every smile. And when you go into that situation, you'll find yourself confident, relaxed, and stress-free. You'll find that you'll be freely able to use your talent, your intelligence, and your experience. And you'll find it very easy to just let your talent speak through your emotions, through your speech, and through your body. Because you know you're a very talented person, you're extremely intelligent, you have a lot of energy, and you have a lot to show the world. Before you go into that situation, you'll find yourself erasing from all the negative thoughts and all the negative emotions. You'll still be very focused, very energetic, but you will be focusing on your task and your job. You will not let any negative emotion bother you. You will not let any negative thoughts bother you. In a moment, I'm going to count from 1 to 10. When I reach the number 10, you come back to this room, feeling great, fully relaxed, feeling like you've just slept for the last 12 hours. When I reach the number 10, you come back to this room, feeling great, relaxed, and calm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Take a deep breath in. 9. Whenever you're ready.
10. I do feel relaxed, actually.
Feels good, doesn't it?
It is, it does.
It does. So we have 10 seconds left.
Okay.
Thank you for coming.
That's very nice
we can
meeting
talk a
you.
little bit more on the hallway.
Definitely.
And this is Hypnotist Bernie Exposition. Join us next week, CCTV, Channel 9, 7:30.